Have you ever heard that expression, ignorance is bliss? Well, I have, and I really like it. I've heard it, I heard it years, decades ago. It's by an English poet, I believe by the name of Thomas Gray. Yes, Thomas Gray. I'm just double checking. Ignorance is bliss. And what does that mean for the workplace? It means sometimes things that are left unsaid are better than those things being said. Sometimes I think better of you. Sometimes I think better of the environment I'm in if I don't know some of the things that people want to tell me. And why is this valuable? Why am I talking about this? Well, I've been given some secrets in my career that I never asked for, that I never really wanted, that in some ways, I don't know if they creep me out, but they made me think less of situations, less of people, less of the environment. They made me question a lot of the things in that workplace. For instance, I was working somewhere and I'd been there, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months. So not a long period of time, not 3 or 4 years. And one of my coworkers, one of my team members came in and was very flustered and she was talking just sort of talking nonsensical and then turned to me and proceeded to close the door and tell me about how she wasn't very happy with her husband. And I was like, uh-oh, where's this going? And that she had an affair with the person that I replaced, and that she still sometimes saw this person and was wondering my thoughts and whether or not this person was breaking it off. I have to tell you, I was taken aback. I'm not really like a philanderer. I don't think that way. I'm nice to a fault. People take that as, misconstrued. I'm probably overly nice to women who are around me, but that's kind of the way that I was raised and the way that my mind works. But to go into the details of the extramarital affair, to a certain extent, I didn't know all the details, but enough where they met and they went to this motel and just all this silliness. I didn't need to know. I didn't need to know what kind of workplace I was in, number 1. Number 2, I don't know that I thought better of her because of this. It sounded like she had an issue with her husband, and because of this, sought attention from the person who was there before me. Just crazy stories like that. Another time, someone I was just talking to a subordinate. I went into their office and I was talking to them about how they were doing. And they proceeded to tell me about their date. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then it got graphic. It was a graphic discussion of what took place between two adult individuals. And that's all I'm going to say about this. And I was like, where are we going here? I'm not one to call HR. I'm not one to, register complaints or anything like that. It was just a very odd conversation with information that I didn't necessarily need to know about. Just again, ignorance is bliss. Telling me less is telling me more. When I go into work, I don't talk about stuff very much. I mean, some people will say, "Oh, you went on about how you and your son took that trip." Okay, fine. But I don't give you anything that isn't superficial. How was your weekend? Oh, it was great. It went by too quick. Oh, I went to my son's blah 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 game. I did this with my daughter. My wife and I went here. We did this. We did that. Those are the kinds of things. I'm not going to go into details about my financials with someone I work with. I'm just not going to do it, especially someone that I don't know too well. There was another time I was working and and I moved offices. and it was very nice. I got a very nice office. It overlooked a pool in a very prominent area of Los Angeles where there were movie stars sometimes. They actually shot some television shows there and films there. But while I was working there, they filmed some episodes of Pamela Anderson TV show. And there was a time I had 20 people, or it felt like 20 people in my office with binoculars and the whole 9 yards looking at Pamela Anderson in a swimsuit across the way. So it was, sometimes I was popular for sort of the wrong reasons or the reasons that I don't necessarily attribute to being popular. But when I first got that office, everyone was telling me that there was a female and a male worker about a year and a half ago or something like that. I don't remember the time frame, who were very involved, and there was much speculation and almost a certainty that they had been very physical in my office. Craziness. Immediately, I went down to the local convenience store near our office and got some disinfectant. I just didn't know what the heck was going on. I wanted my office to be clean. I wanted my desk to be clean. I had no idea if they were pulling my leg or telling me the truth, but I wasn't going to take any chances. And what made it even odder is I never met these people. I didn't work with them. It was the people who worked with them who were still at the office that told me these stories. So to a certain extent, why would they be lying that much? And I didn't get the feeling, look, I I I can tease people. I didn't feel like I was being teased. I didn't feel like someone was pulling a prank on me. I heard it from enough people and a couple reliable sources that something probably went down there, and it was just creepy. I couldn't go to my boss with it though, because it was a nice office. It was a very nice office. Anyway, those are some of the things that I'm talking about when I say ignorance, especially in the workplace, is bliss. Less is so much more. Be a little, have a little mystery behind you. Don't spill all of your beans. Sometimes it's good not to have a work BFF. Sometimes it's good to not have a work BFF that you tell every little detail to. And don't assume that someone being nice means that they want to hear things, because sometimes they're being nice because that's who they are and that's their workplace personality. Ignorance is definitely bliss. Thanks for watching.